Can Chelsea beat Burnley? I mean, Chelsea have failed to win 2 games in the English Premier League in a row for the last 2 years. It's been a torrid time for them. Again, quite apart from that, Chelsea have failed to win 3 games in a row in all competitions in about a year. Torrid time for Chelsea. Vincent Kompany's team played very well, but they failed to win games. They're back home at the Turf Moor. Chelsea did win against Brighton and Hove Albion in the League Cup. They also followed that up with a very good win against Fulham in the derby at the Craven Cottage. Can they beat Burnley? It's a bigger question. Tactically, there's only one thing Chelsea can do to be able to beat Burnley, and that's exactly why I'm here today on Fiifi-Manfred. And I give you all the best in terms of the tactical analysis, preview, review, and everything that you need. It's exactly why you need to make sure you click on that bell, turn on your notification, choose all, so that once the video does drop, you are the first to get it. Also, do make sure that every time that you are here, you do subscribe and choose the like button, and make sure that you drop your comments. My name is Fiifi. So, there is a funny story with Burnley. Again, welcome. When they were in English Premier League 2 seasons ago, when Sondheim was their manager, they were the best team to go and play away against at the Turf Moor. They had a blueprint. The blueprint was simple. Get the big, bulky, tough players. You can make mention of them, guys like Tarkowski, the likes of people in the shape of Dan Burn and what's not were in that team. Big, bulky, not necessarily technical players, more physical specimens that can play to fit exactly how Sean Dyche wants to play his football. Now, it was a reminiscent 4-4-2 formation that Burnley did play every time in the games in the English Premier League. Very solid. And one of the most characteristic things about Sean Dyche's Burnley side was their set pieces. Usually, they go to the far post, one header back into the middle third, and then an extra header. By the third header, they are in and then they have the goal. But after seasons of succeeding at that, Sean Dyche's very own blueprint of giving him all the successes as Burnley manager failed him, and he was relegated. And this is where the beautiful story of Burnley did start. Now, when they went to the championship, they were bought by new American owners who wanted progressivity. They wanted to embed the Burnley people. They wanted to get in bed and then learn and grow with the people of Burnley. So they brought in a young progressive manager known as Vincent Kompany. Vincent Kompany actually had been under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola as a player, as his captain for a very long time. He went also learned under Mikel Arteta, who are two of the most elite managers now in English Premier League. Went head to head last season and also at this season. Vincent Kompany did learn under them. He went away to his boyhood club Anderlecht, where he was a player coach, learned through it, grew up as a player, grew up as a manager, and then got a Burnley job last season full time in the championship. And oh boy, he took the championship by storm, beating everybody, having a very good home record, very solid way of playing, and he established the Burnley way of play. Beautiful, progressive, nice football with young players, and then people of Burnley were excited. But then really, after he got promoted into the English Premier League, results have not found him likely. He has not been able to get the results that he wants. He's languishing in 2 places away from the bottom of the English Premier League. It is worrying for Vincent Kompany, worrying for the new owners of Burnley, worrying for the people of Burnley. But then, what has been the bane? What has been the issue? How has he played in the various games that he has played in the English Premier League? How has he fared? How has he grown as a manager? What are the issues? What is the big holy grail behind that very good performances without success at the Turf Moor and even away? And can Chelsea break them down? That is the core mandate of this video, and that's exactly what we're going to. So, Vincent Kompany usually plays in the 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 reminiscent. Now, when he was in the championship, Chelsea boy Ian Matheson was one of the best players that he loved. From out wide as a fullback, he used him several times for his progressive carries and all from those areas. It was a good one for him. Now, if you watch Vincent Kompany's teams, especially in the Carabao Cup that they played against Manchester City where they lost, they played in a very, very good man-for-man marking. Again, against Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham Hotspur, it was man-for-man marking. High aggressive, high press man-for-man marking. Sometimes, if he decides to sit a little bit off, like say 5 meters, 10 meters off, he inverts his winger to make sure that if you are receiving the ball in a 3-2 or 3-1 or whichever phase, if you try to overload central areas to receive the ball and play forward, he makes sure that he matches those numbers in central areas. Now, you are definitely going to leave your fullback out, but once you do that, what Van Sant Company does is that he pushes his fullback to also come and press. So it is very aggressive, very, very high. Now, if you watch the game against Tottenham Hotspur and the game against Manchester City, tactically, they were one of the, they were up there. Burnley was good as Man City tactically. Same for Spurs against Burnley. But I've always said that consistently, the game is about execution of the tactics, not just putting the tactics out. What is the execution of the tactics? How do you execute the tactics? In the case of Van Sant Company and his Burnley side, the biggest problem has been the execution of his tactics and his tactical ideologies onto the field of play. When they met Tottenham Hotspur, they were able to mix it up. They went 1v1 in terms of the press, but then it is the quick transitioning and then the fact that every time the manipulation of space of James Maddison and then the runs in behind of Son Heung-min that's made a difference for Burnley, for Tottenham Hotspur, even though they went down by a goal to 0 earlier in the game. So yes, Van Sant Company has the principles, but it is the quality of players and then the execution that's the bigger problem. Now, Chelsea in the last 2 games, we've seen that Mauricio Pochettino is beginning to solve the basic problems that we all saw with the team, right? We saw that in the first thing he decided to do was to bring Enzo Fernandez to come and play in the double six with Moises Caicedo, which is brilliant because now you have Moises Caicedo, who is very underrated with his on-the-ball ability because he does the simple things. And then if you look at that ball he gave to Levi Cole for him to score that goal, for Mihailo Modric's goal, you could tell that that's a visionary DM from deep areas. Enzo Fernandez even takes it a notch higher in terms of his progressive carries and his passes and his line-breaking passes from deep. Brilliant stuff. Now, Conor Gallagher also pushes up into a number 10 or an attacking number 10 role, an attacking number 8 role, if you want to call it that way. And the thought is simple. We need Conor's athleticism, Conor's energy to crash the box when Chelsea are attacking, but to also before that, without the ball, to be very athletic and press and close down the spaces and lead the press and be that trigger for Chelsea's press up top. Brilliant stuff. Now, at the back also, it was Marco Correa, who was brilliant against Brighton at right back, which is not his natural position. But then good stuff against Kuro Mitoma. And the last time that Chelsea played against Willian. Yes, there were times where Fulham decided to overload Marco Correa because they realized that's not his natural area. But then Chelsea did a good job in terms of structure. Now, my bigger problem with Chelsea, and we'll get to that very soon as we go forward. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't and turn on the notification button and choose all. But yeah, Marco Correa at right back, Axel Desasi, and then Thiago Silva as 2 center backs and Levi Cole over there. Now, when Chelsea do have the ball, now it is easier because Marco Correa can comfortably play in the back three. So he can become a back three at the back for Marco Correa, Silva, and then Desasi in there. Now, so that Levi Cole can push up and play as the more attacking fullback in that for Chelsea Football Club. Now, also, in the middle of the park, it means that Levi Cole, Moises Caicedo can come and overload the other side, whilst Enzo Fernandez overload the other side as well. Either way is where Chelsea want to progress. Now, up top, Chelsea started with Cole Palmer as a right winger, Mihailo Modric as a left winger, and then, of course, they had their man in Armando Broja leading the lines. Now, Chelsea's list of injured players is out, and Armando Broja is fit. His name is not in there. Reece James is out of that list. You can tell that Mihailo Modric is also not in the list. So it means that Modric possibly will start. Broja will start in this game. Carney Chukwuemeka is back into this team in terms of space and time manipulation in central areas. But the first key thing Chelsea needs to do is to be quick in transitions. And that was one of the big things I saw against Fulham. Chelsea were not quick and swift and deft in their transitions. If you want to hurt Burnley, they will play good football. In fact, there are times where Burnley will get more of the ball than Chelsea Football Club. But what Chelsea can do is they have the quality players, they have the quicker players, they have the pacey players. Yes, you will need the pulsar of Cole Palmer from outside to come and occupy those half spaces and then control the tempo of the attack. But there are times where Chelsea need to go quick, especially in transitions when they turn over the ball from Burnley. When they win the ball from Burnley, Chelsea need to go quick and go behind the Burnley back four because it's going to be the same shape of Burnley of a 3-1-6 up top. They will push up, they will press, they will occupy those spaces. Now, when they come with a single DM, who may not be one of the best, Chelsea can overload him and also can crash him with the athleticism of Conor Gallagher in central areas. But the essential part is that when Chelsea pick the ball in the turnover in central areas, now they need to unleash Mihailo Modric quickly. That's one of the best ways to beat them. And Torian and Ange Postecoglou were very good at it. Unleashing Son Heung-min with James Maddison, dropping into central areas, winning the ball in the turnover from either of Yves Bissouma or Papi Matassa, and then going long to Son Heung-min. So it's more like a simple game plan, but then there's the execution of the game plan that's going to be very important for Chelsea, and they need to do it and do it very well. Because if you don't do it well and Burnley go in confidence in the game and the third more, they'll begin to feel like they can beat Chelsea at any point in time. So Chelsea need that same shape, the same players, but they need to be quick in the transition. They need to be turned on at every point in time in the game so that they can effect the regular changes that they want in game as the game goes on. And I think it's important in that regard. If you look at how Chelsea wants to play, how Burnley wants to play, Vessel Company will never depart from how he wants to play. He's never going to change it. Even though he has just 4 points on the log now, he's never going to change it. He'll stick by it. And I know that the American owners will give him time to build because of what he gave them in the Champions League. They will not let go of him that easily. They would want him to build. So he was want to go the same way. But Chelsea need to be extra careful in how they pick their passes because Burnley are going to come up and press. Also, one of the big things has been Robert Sanchez, especially against very high pressing teams like Brighton. I know his success rate in terms of passing has been one of the best. But against Brighton, he gave away quite a few more. Yes, the argument is that there's his former team against a manager that dropped him to the bench, that didn't really give him the respect that he think that was due him. And then he went to play against him. Yes, he has every right to feel jittery, but he can't make those mistakes at a turf more against Burnley. They will hurt Chelsea. If you make those mistakes against Burnley, they will press you, they will do their job, and they will hurt you. Now you need to be much more crisp in the passes that you give your players from the back. And Robert Sanchez would have to be very, very important in how he wants to play out from the back from Chelsea Football Club. I think these are the deeds. These are the most important part of how Chelsea has to play against Burnley Football Club. It's not a straightforward win, but I think that Chelsea do the right things that they're supposed to do. Cole Palmer in there, let him regulate the tempo. Sometimes when Burnley are being too quick, let him calm down the game and then play your passes, keep the ball, find the opponent. Now, when you win the ball when you turn it over in central areas, then you go quick as well, and then you find the spaces in behind them. The turf one will be bouncing actually to be buzzing, but I really do think that Chelsea have what it takes to beat Burnley. So yeah, it's the end of another edition. I hate to end it, but it's the end of another edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's Chelsea versus Burnley versus Chelsea. These are the only ways Chelsea can beat or hurt Burnley in the English Premier League tomorrow. Take care. Bye.